that the VCS can bring.
Carrix,
And there's
are
been a
you
lot
against
of action.
Carrix, are you against Celebrity in this one? Do you not believe in Celebrity?
No, I said he's been good.
I'm okay. So you're not against Celebrity then?
No, I'm not.
All right, Mobby, your analysis is moot because the whole world isn't against Celebrity because Carrix is my whole world. How about that? How's that? How's that sound?
The world sucks.
Oh, disrespect! Kick him off the desk. Kick her off the desk. My apologies.
Get him out. Oh my word. Apparently there is a pause in game because we're seeing lovely Vietnamese gentlemen, but unfortunately you don't get to look at them. You get to look at whatever we've got going on. I think Celebrity's been playing really well. He was definitely the brightest part of game 2 for SBTC. We're back in game. There we go. Really
nice.
Putting us to the test, but it's not moving. Or rather, maybe Cardi was just doing really holding still. It's hard to tell.
Next slide, please. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. They put so many eggs into the Celebrity basket here that a Caitlyn is going to have to carry through a lot of potential threat. Because, like, Victor can challenge her range, Jinx can challenge her range, both of which I've equal, if not just better, late game scaling. And then you compound that with, like, Levi, who's a dive assassin. And it's like, even if Levi does nothing for the first, like, 20 minutes of the game and just sits there and power farms up to, like, 2 items, the threat is still there onto Celebrity, and the only person that can protect him is Paulette. But the problem is anybody that gets pulled out of a fight by Paulette, specifically Celebrity in the wrong situation, just completely it games the damage much further than you would expect it to. And so it feels like they need Celebrity to get
trying
going.
To kill B. Yeah. This is just Paulette just walking at them. He's just got the big tongue wobbling.
Are we
walking up the lane like a big dumb goblin?
We're still recovering from yesterday's St. Patrick's Day antics, aren't we, Miss Gam House?
Yeah, evidently.
I mean, I can speak for myself, which is that I casted VCS, took about 2 hours of nap, and then I did nothing but celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that we were drinking? Is that something that, in the past tense? Yeah, I was drinking until I stayed awake for 4 hours to do this. So I'm still on that bender. Still technically on a bender, by definition. I'm just taking a break for a while.
You okay, Rebel?
I'm living, dude.
Oh my. Yeah, don't worry, it's true of me too.
See, that's what I like to hear.
Oh god, this is
one of them is playing a green champion.
6 game days. They're pretty tough. They're a little bit rough. But so far, this is a quiet game. And someone out there I know is saying, Caster, 3 minutes in. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, we had 10 kills at 6 minutes last game.
we did, yes. We had 10 kills, double the amount of time last game alone. And that's probably not even like close to a record inside of the VCS, so you're not concerned about that all that much.
Not even close.
Yeah, the Hex Fly. I understand the wanted regard to hit the big hook because you feel like a big shot, right? But like if you just walk in front of him, he has to flash, right? You just walk into his path between Celebrity and Paulette, and you have Levi there. You just walk in between them and you get anything. Okay.
God, Enver's really making a damn good case for himself today.
Yeah, range champion in the top lane, Marian.
Yeah, but he flies under our radar sometimes, and he's taking it to Kiaya. Maybe Your Way will have to admit that Kiaya is not actually the son of God.
What? Oh, the back had been taken. Okay, yeah, I think it was just a cheater. I actually kind of like this cheater. A lot of Jinxes take it just to make sure they get a Cole so they can just scale through the laning phase. And it implies that GAM is going to be playing slow. So going back to the top of the day, we had recommendations for what we wanted to see from GAM. I don't think we were expecting a 3-game series. I think we were expecting a 2-game series pretty easily from these two. But we got a 3-game series, which is quite nice. And that's better for SBTC than it is for GAM for sure. This game looks like it's going to be more slow, which is what you wanted, but they didn't pick anything interesting. I guess Diana's a little interesting because they didn't pair it with anything, but outside of that, they didn't do anything. So they're just not doing anything for me, which is why I sound so unhappy with GAM in specifically this game. But they are probably going to be accomplishing what you wanted them to accomplish, which is playing out a slower paced game to see what they can do in the later stages against the team that's already shown propensity to teamfight excruciatingly well.
Yeah, It is very true. I'm super impressed by SBTC. This is a team that, despite where they are on the standings, you know, you were saying that it's Team Secret that they're competing with. It's not BTS, it's not Flash, and I think this shows it. The fact that they are able to make GAM work for every win and even take one off them. Potentially take two. This game's got a lot of guts left in it, after all. Yep. As DNK just on the Volibear. I don't love Volibear for DNK. It wasn't great in game 2, and I just don't think it suits him very well. I will say, I've said this so many times, it's a bit of a broken record, but I do think it's true. As Cardi's actually got on top of 2T, trying to walk him down. It's a lot of damage, a little bit more, just flashing away. But as I was saying, DNK, terrible at champions and have to be the first one in. Great at champions and are the second one in.
Yeah, wanting to be able to be a bit more of a carry for his team. The Volibear is a bit out of the wheelhouse of what we would expect him to be incredible at. But actually, I don't think he had a necessarily horrible game in the last game.
It was fine.
It's a powerful champion to pick up, too, because it has its value. Although I think it is over-prioritized right now. It seems to be a favorite jungler of like the VCS. I would like to see it in the wheelhouse of every jungler in the VCS, but I don't want to see it be like the go-to for anybody unless you're really good at it. I know Drakthar's got a pretty good one, but even that I don't have a particular like affinity for, especially after today when it was not very good again. So I don't know. I would prefer that the Volibear not be picked at the high priority that it is right now inside of the VCS until somebody shows me that they can play it to like bully out the other jungler very effectively, which is something we really missed from our junglers today who have been selecting this champion.
So something I want to get your thoughts on, because I think this Diana pick is a little bit wackadoo, as B is dead as a doornail. Oh, never mind. Lovely flash there, actually. He just gets out. Well done. The gravity well. The gravity well. Perfect.
Caught himself a wall, so we're good there. Palette's jumping over.
Shots. He's okay.
Yeah, nothing crazy about that.
But yeah, the thing I want to get your thought on is this Diana pick, because I think, yeah, it's a bit wackadoo, it's a bit off the wall, but doesn't it just get completely countered by Galio? Because Levi jumps in and he just presses ult, and the magic damage shield means no one gets one shot.
Yeah, Levi gets countered by a lot here, because it's not only just the shielding coming through from 2T, but also, again, if Palette needs to, he can pull somebody out as well.
Exactly.
And Galio's got too much health really to one-shot. Volibear's got, for the most part, too much health to one-shot, and unless it's Minimanar, again, you're not one-shotting. Plus, none of them matter in the composition. Really, it's just Celebrity. So there's a question of, can you kill Celebrity? And the answer is probably no, unless you are disgustingly fed or you're able to jump the timer in which 2T is able to throw an ultimate out, or you're able to split up Palette and Celebrity just to make sure that those two aren't near enough each other to where the Tom Kench ultimate denies a bunch. So I think this is a skill-intensive matchup for Levi when it shouldn't have been, because this champion typically gets put with something that, like, your job is to press an ultimate or to get an AoE, and then to set up somebody else to do something big. This game, that's not the case. Instead, your job is to literally be an assassin. Here's Style, trying to make things hard.
Yeah, there's a teleport coming in, so they're actually going to call the play off. Well done there by SE. They just get the resource and back away. They lose nothing for this.
Hello. So DNK versus Kiaya in the jungle. Actually won out by Volibear pretty easily, even though there's no items on Volibear, just the 2 health crystals. And you drive Jinx out of the laning phase because he's not there. B was hovering towards topside, which kind of sucks because, again, there's no top laner there, so Kiaya can't exactly do anything. He's going to stay on bottom side, though. It looks like they're going to rotate for the Rift Herald. And DNK's still on bottom side, so there's 4 members here now to punish.
Yeah, they're just giving him the Rapidu, uses the Dominus, but the tower gets turned off, which means there's no risk. Perfectly played first blood here for DNK.
And that's Rift Herald that went into the pocket of Levi in exchange for the bottom side play, which is 1 kill. 2 plates will be 3 plates almost certainly by Celebrity almost immediately here. And it's a question of whether or not Jinx can actually pick up a kind of resounding plates on the top lane now that that's going to be there. It looks like Rift Herald got dropped down right here on top side. Yeah, they're going to try to rush first tower into Style. Please, nobody else touch that. I'm also very, very okay with Levi having put that down just to make sure that the gold is going to be there in between he and the Diana, because I think it's important on Style, but it's also equally important to make sure that Levi's got some gold. And if this is the case, it's first tower gold that's going to be going over to Style and Levi.
He's wealthy.
Pretty nice.
He's bourgeois. So now Cardi's in a lot of trouble as there's a big bear bearing on down, and 2T plays it nicely. DNK gets a second snack.
Yeah, the toss over of a kill into the mid lane kind of sucks because, again, right there, it was Cody who was actually trying to pull 2 plates off the board and actually got 2 full plates off the mid tower in exchange for what happened on bottom lane. So, all things considered, they got full top tower and 2 plates off mid tower for just the bottom side play, which was the kill on the 3 plates, of which went into Caitlyn, and a couple of them got shared. Which is ultimately better for GAM, all things said and done. Cody sitting here, yeah, he got baited into making sure he was going to tag that last little thing. He thought he had some damage for 2T, and he almost had enough damage to maybe turn it a little bit, but DNK shows up at exactly the right time to punish him.
If he hits that laser, it's almost a 1-for-1, but we don't live in that timeline. We live in the 0-1 timeline. He's gone for the Leandries. Bit different. What do you think about this?
Yeah, every member on this team except for, this is the same discussion we had when it came to Levi bursting somebody. The only person that matters to burst is Celebrity because everyone else is healthy. If that's the case, Cody doesn't care about necessarily killing off Celebrity because there's 2 people between Style and Levi that should be doing that. And so Cody, even with a Leandries, is going to have damage to test Celebrity, but everybody else you need to concern yourself with. And so the poke onto these other members that have high health with Leandries gets so much more value. This is, I think, really forward from Cody to actually think about this, because again, he is mostly going to be hitting a lot of the frontliners with this big AoE damage, and even if he's hitting every member together, it doesn't matter if it doesn't outright kill Celebrity, because if you do more damage to the other 4 and then Celebrity dies to somebody else, you've been actually doing a fair amount more work inside of the fight. I think it's the right call here. This is something that Chovy would not do. Chovy would go Night Harvester for some reason in this game, but that's fine.
Carty greater than Chovy. All right, we'll write that one down. I'll be sending that one off for the judges.
See, this was. I remember saying bold things, and if you remember, Rise wasn't winning in the LCK, and we had 2 people win on Rise.
We did.
They officially were better than everyone in the LCK for a short time.
I mean, Fake has never been good.
He's literally never gone undefeated in the entirety of the LCK.
Exactly.
Okay? This is the first time.
If you can't win Worlds 4 times, are you even good?
Yeah. I'm joking. He's never even role swapped before. What in the world? Is he even good at the game?
No.
Don't sue us, LCK, please.
Please. I actually am a big fan of your region. I'd like to cast you one day.
Yes.
But anyway, I mean, I don't think I can possibly rein us into being serious because it's just been too wacky of a day. But getting back on topic, this is a slow game. The fact is there are only 2 kills at 12 minutes. They're both going over to SE. But GAM is still in the gold lead, mostly due to that first tower. How does this actually shape up towards the mid game?
So we're in a position now where Levi has enough ability to farm with Nashor's Tooth. We're waiting for, I think, Rocket Belt. Once Rocket Belt is there, the threat really onto Caitlyn starts to ramp up. The biggest thing for SBTC is that they haven't been able to do the Caitlyn thing where you're able to ramp up turret plate production, which is just knocking down turret plates for the Caitlyn by playing into bottom side, breaking her loose, and going elsewhere. Right, that's just not what they've been able to accomplish in a game like this, and that's harmful to Caitlyn because again, that's your real crux of this composition, and you're losing in most of your other lanes. Right now, top lane is behind in CS if you're Emperor. 2T's way behind in the mid lane right now after Cody has gotten quite a bit. I know he has died, but there's that as
Cody gets dove in on, but Levi comes in as the savior with Paulette here. Oh, Paulette!
He died? Nope, that's shield.
You know what's crazy? Paulette eats him to save him from the Leandries, and it saves him from the rocket. Paulette didn't see that rocket coming. There's no way.
True.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's unlikely. It's very unlikely. Unless it was called for some reason by Celebrity and he was panicking, and so that's what he did. But yeah, it was really heads forward kind of play from Paulette to be able to be up there and readily available for the double player dive onto Cody and an attempt to slow him down. Style.
He does have cleanse to get away from the volley bear, but DNK is able to do enough damage. Whew, that got a little bit close, but Celeb will pick him up. GAM's still unable to convert a kill, but they get the mid lane tower. They have a TP to catch this wave, so we are in a very just weird situation where they're unable to convert a kill, but they are winning.
Yeah. Very strange situation for GAM where it's, okay, they haven't really been playing for kills, they've mostly been playing for objectives. That mid play was a really great example where, Levi had rejoined with Cody, they did a lot of damage, but they didn't worry about chasing any further than they needed to because they broke mid tower, and it's very free to be able to break mid tower. Kiaya might actually break this mold a little bit. He's going to try to get something onto Mininar here.
I don't think he can, though, because he's about to go Mega, so the Wallop's going to come out, the Gnar to push him back, so Kiaya wins the exchange, but he can't confirm a kill.
No. It's a solid advantage that Kiaya has got over him. There's also only the one cloth armor onto Enper. So this was really, really tumultuous walking in for the poor Gnar. Thankfully, again, the Mega Gnar is very useful because it's got plenty of CC to work with, plenty of disengage to work with to deny Renekton any further access into a fight like that. So well played just to make sure that Enper was not going to fall victim to the Crocodile, get eaten up by the jaws of poor Kiaya, who hasn't been able to convert the kill. But again, it opens up a lot on the map. The mid tower being pushed in means that so far do the minions get to go. Top lane getting attacked like that meant that either you're going to draw the attention of DNK and you're going to see him on top side, or nothing happens, which means that, of course, Levi just gets to walk away with the free Rift Herald and now gets to find somewhere else to put it on the map. Lane assignments are getting shifted around a little bit. Obviously, Victor can go into a side lane, and I think that's better because if they decide that 2T needs to match him, keeps 2T away from the remainder of the map. You don't want him in the mid lane because it's easier to use that Galio ultimate to kind of be everywhere at once. So it's very nice to be able to have that one in your back pocket to use when the time comes. And the Rift Herald can be used to set up another dragon in about 1 minute and 47 seconds whenever that next one comes up. And that's going to be a big usage, I think, also for GAM, if this game's going to go as long as we think.
Yeah, Kiaya coming in, trying to clear out the wave. He knows that his tower does not offer any safety. Not up against a Volibear. He just has... That was the best possible play. Of course, he still dies for it. But again, GAM trade it for an objective.
They do. They don't care what the kills actually
look
like.
This is Hante GAM.
Yeah, it really is. This is really solid macro play and a very rare macro kind of display coming out from GAM, because usually they're doing both. They're getting kills and they're going macro. And in this game, SBTC, I mean, they've gotten kills. GAM hasn't really been hunting for them all that much, and instead it's been looking for the towers for the unique gold.
That's a good hook there. That should give them their first kill. No, Paulette denies it away. So the clean sheet will continue, but now Levi goes in with the big moonfall. They pick up the kill. Style gets excited, whips in the rocket. Doesn't quite land. So they do finally get a kill. They get 2 towers. And GAM continue to just slowly push the throttle forward.
2.3 thousand gold advantage now for the side of GAM. It's not humongous, but SBTC are definitely feeling the effects of some of the early game and some of the early gold that's been taken. The biggest difference, though, like we talked about, is it's mostly been objective play between towers and everything else. This was an interesting position. It was really great to punish DNK the way they did. And again, Paulette making it very difficult to try to find any kind of aggression. Here, the trade-off, Levi, again, finding a couple of members pulled back into the team. The trade, of course, being that one does go back, which is Levi, of course, and the ultimate not tagging onto DNK was huge, because I think if they get excited right there, they potentially can drop a couple shots into Celebrity, maybe push him off the defense of the tower, and even push for inhibitor tower on bottom side. Maybe if the wave is in the right position. I seem to remember a wave actually just coming in at the right time, but they don't end up going for that because, again, GAM isn't pushing for anything too crazy right now. They're not playing out of their minds. They're just taking the easy win by playing around the map to the best of their abilities. Now, the thing I wanted to bring up is, because they focus so much of their effort into a lot of the towers and structures on the map to get this gold advantage, but they're not up that much, it means when SBTC, if they're able to break open the map at some point and get, like, say, the first Baron and break down these structures, all of a sudden this gold lead is going to evaporate, and it's going to be very heavily in favor of SBTC, because they are, in fact, the ones with all this standing ambient gold that has yet to be claimed.
It's very true. It's very, very true. Does look like GAM is going to be the first Johnny on the spot to go claim the first Hextech Drake. Not the biggest deal, of course. It's just a second dragon. No huge deal here. I am worried about how freely Style has been able to scale. And you might say, well, Caitlyn is as well. Yeah, one's a Jinx. That's why. Kiaya has popped the Dominus, but doesn't find the flank to come in. So he's just gonna head out.
Yeah, the old Ryuk strategy. You pop the Dominus, you look for a flank angle. If it's there, you take it. If it's not, then you just stand there and you just wait for your Dominus to come back up. It's what he made his name on. It's why they pick him in the Renekton every single game. It's why he makes the big bucks playing the big crocodile, man. Maybe wanting a wraparound. I was thinking a wraparound on Victor, but it actually looks like a wraparound on Styles.
He didn't turn into the little ball. He was just a little bear. Just.
It's funny.
Oh, I love it. Oh man. But so far, very quiet, very controlled. You'd almost forget you're watching VCS.
You almost would. 6 kills, 20 minutes. Like I said, we had 10 kills at 6 minutes only one game ago.
Yep.
It's literally the last game that it happened. But again, talking about the ramifications of this are, of course, what do we actually get to see from GAM in a slow-paced game where you're going to have to rely on team fighting? What does their team fighting look like when they're getting into the later portions? The things I set up for them, number one, obviously Styles doing fine in a game like this. The biggest thing, look at the farm on Levi. He's at 164. He is crushing DNK right now, and he's got the proc account, so now's the time.
Yeah, he is just trading back excellently, but Celebrity comes in with the Gale Force. There's a Galio here as well, so Cardi just has to fend them off. Kiaya in the middle of the enemy team trying to get onto Celebrity, but the flash will keep him safe for now. They turn around and take down 2T, but this isn't a great situation for GAM. They need to find a way out. It's a big nah coming out of Emperor. It's perfect stuff. B flashing over the wall. Kiaya has a full rage bar, can press Q, get a massive heal out of it. Now Paulette has to find a way out. Does it actually exist? The rocket follows. Over the wall goes Kiaya. Wants to get on top of Emperor. I don't think he can quite do it with all the slows, but Style is free firing with the lethal tempo spooled up. Double kill secured. Kiaya will make sure the bear goes to hibernation. And GAM, they're awake. They're angry.
And I think it's GAM understanding what a team fight is supposed to look like in their regard, because they've kind of got angles cut off. Levi is not important here, but the biggest thing is that, again, Caitlyn is the one doing most of the damage, but it's the positioning of Kadi that cuts them off from the backline. The gravity well and everything else preventing Caitlyn from walking up directly into the enemies to throw damage in. It buys so much time for the rest of GAM, who has damage in other places between, like, Style and, even Kiaya has quite a bit at the beginning of this game, that lets them kind of bully down the members who are at the front side of the fight. It's what forces out Emperor, it's what forces out DNK, it's what forces out Paulette, and they don't really have anything to capitalize on from that point forward, because again, Celebrity just is not there and isn't capable of helping out in a fight like that.
And Kiaya now being chased down, does have the Baron buff, does have a rage bar to keep himself alive, as well as that Dominus and a Levi. And that's a really powerful button to have, is Levi. B coming in with the Hex Gates, gives him a little boost, but it doesn't matter when it's followed by a hook. And Carty will get the kill.
And now all of a sudden, everything, the floodgates of all kinds have opened for GAM pretty much across the board. At one point, they were focusing primarily on objectives because it's going to get you very free, very easily accessible, well, not easily accessible, but accessible gold that anyone has access to. You don't have to go for kills. You don't have to go for anything. You just have to go for plays to punish what it is that SBTC is trying to do on the map. And they found it time and time again with tower punishments and things like that. And now they've gotten to a point where that gold was enough to get them fight wins, and now they can start attacking people. Jinx has been able to scale freely. Victor's been able to scale freely. You didn't even need the Diana. I was expecting the Diana to be a much more important part of a game like this. B is going to get a knock up. That might be humongous because SBTC is now down a fair amount of defensive tool.
Yeah, Celebrity does gobble him up get gobbled up for a moment, but yucky. Don't like that play as TNK just donates himself over to GAM.
Yeah, and now Kadi just shifts into topside. There's Baron buff minions here, which means he's just going to be able to take this, and nobody can walk into this because they're terrified of what can happen elsewhere. Levi still has the Moonfall.
It really feels like after the chaos of Game 1 and 2, Hanke and the GAM staff were able to calm their players down. Like, right, guys, settle down, win the series. You're the better team. You know that. Just calm down. And it doesn't feel like SE were able to do the same thing. It feels like they're still full of emotion and they're just getting outbrained.
They really are. Yeah, it happened in game number 2 as well. That game was also a bit more of a hands check from the side of GAM, which maybe they needed to have a game like this where they get to be more cold calculating and methodical about how they're actually playing out their map. Because right now, they're doing a good job punishing where they need to punish and being where they need to be just to attack everything that's being left open from SBTC. As now you can see, third dragon of theirs that's going to go into their back pocket. That's a Hex Tech Soul that's going to be on the table right after this dragon comes through in about 5 minutes. And again, this 3-item Victor, this is 3-item Jinx, this is like 2.5-item Diana. We're stealing great. It's actually a 3-item Renekton too. It's really hard to breach this team fight from SBTC. They've had time to scale, but again, their composition wasn't really designed to scale incredibly well. It was designed to set up this Caitlyn to be this masterclass type ADC where Celebrity was going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but it hasn't come to fruition in the slightest. Instead, just ends up failing on them, is not able to put them into a solid position here.
True. As another wave pushed in, Baron buff just fading off now. So I don't know how successful this push onto the inhibitor will be. In fact, it is just pretty much immediately broken. 2T very scary with that Predator. So GAM, they can just go back, slow it down again. They got a really early Baron that just kind of accelerates the game plan. They don't need to end the game yet, but they may well choose to.
They might. They have a wave. It's cleared a little bit. It's a little bit fearful. Oh, now they've got siege minions coming out of the mid wave, which is problematic to say the least. And top wave actually is going to be able to be crashed as well because Levi's going to force those minions in on top of them. So yeah, maybe they're just going for a win right
Triple
here, right now.
Yeah,
yeah, they don't have. Yeah, that's about all I got. Yeah, they're just making sure these waves I think are going to be crashing over and over again.
I think you want to potentially try and wait Emperor out. I don't think you want to do this into a Mega Gnar. It seems like an unnecessary risk. But yeah, he jumps in. He goes for the Gnar, but he doesn't get Style. It was a good flash away there by the Jinx. Now Style is just unleashed. He already got one. Didn't quite get the second. 2T's going to be the target. The Hexgate actually saves him as Levi goes extremely deep and is taken down. 1-for-1 at the moment. But, I mean, Galio's not coming back into this fight for a while. Paulette will be the one to fall. Style picks up another. Celebrity targeted. Doesn't go down. On the other side of the fight, we do have DNK moving in onto Carty, who's going to go over and save him is Kiaya. Chops him on down. And the Nexus is exposed. The series is over. And in honestly what was one of the most fun series we've had in my memory, oh my word, that was incredibly enjoyable. GAM will pick up the 2.